Hello, my dear students. So, again, I am Sumit Tiwari in front of you with a new topic of geography this time. So, as you can see, that the name of the topic is drainage. So, you all must be thinking that what does this word drainage actually means. So, let me tell you that drainage means a river along with its tributaries. As you know that when some small rivers, they join a big rivers, then these rivers are tributaries of the main river. And when a particular river divides itself into a number of streams, then these are known as distributaries. So a river along with its tributaries and distributaries, they are the part of this term drainage. When we talk about drainage, it means then that we are talking about a river system. It is very important for all of us to know about the rivers, because rivers are known as the lifelines of any economy and the lifeline of human beings as well. Because as I have written here also that the Indus Valley civilization, all the civilizations, the ancient civilizations, they are based on rivers. Before we go ahead, one thing I would like to remind you all that if so far you have not subscribed our channel, then first of all do this, that press the bell icon and subscribe our channel for watching various videos which can be very useful for all of you. So thank you for this. So now let us come back to our topic, that I was telling you that all the ancient civilizations, they were all made on the bank of rivers, because rivers provide various things, such as the main thing which it provides is water, and all the living creatures, whether it is plants or animals, we all are dependent upon the water. So it is very important to know about the rivers. So before we know more about the rivers, first of all let us know about the two important terms with respect to rivers. So the first term is a drainage basin. So what does this drainage basin means? Basin, as you all know, let me tell you at a very simple level. In your homes, you know the wash basins are there these days. Again and again, we all are going to wash basins for washing our hands, and a basin is a kind of thing in which there is a narrow tunnel through which the water passes out, and the water which all circulates from all the sides, it goes into just one narrow tunnel. In the same way, when we talk about the rivers, this drainage means the same. Means from the uplifted areas, whatever water is coming, that is going through one channel, and from there it goes to the big bodies. For example, the water which is coming down from different small sources, it goes to a bigger source, and finally all the rivers, all the big sources, they drains into the oceans. So now I think that drainage basin you all would have understood. Now let me tell you about another important term, that is the water divide. So water divide is any uplifted area, any elevated area which is above the ground, and it is like a mountain or any upward land, and it separates two drainage basins. The two drainage basins, they are separated by a water divide. So these two terms are of utmost importance when we talk about rivers. Now let us move ahead. In this map, you can see the major rivers of our country. The most important in the northern part, you can see here also the river Ganga and its course. Course means from where it is coming and to where it is going. You can see that it is coming from somewhere near the Himalayas, from the Gangotri glacier, and it is coming downwards to the Bay of Bengal. Then another important river, however, for India it is not that much important, but still we cannot deny the fact that it is also important. That is the river Indus. It also originates from Himalayas. It goes from India in the state of Jammu and Kashmir, Punjab, and then finally it goes to Pakistan and then to the Arabian Sea. Another important river you can see is the river Brahmaputra. Most of the Brahmaputra river flows outside India. Then from the easternmost state of India, Arunachal Pradesh, it enters into India, and then finally from the Bangladesh it goes into Arabian Sea. Then there are some other peninsular rivers which are found in the peninsular India. Let me tell you that what do we mean by peninsular India. The triangular part which is covered from three sides by water, this is known as peninsular India. So here you can see various rivers are flowing: Narmada, then Tapi, then Godavari, then Krishna, then Kaveri. So these are some of the important rivers of our country. Now let us move ahead. So talking about the type of rivers, basically if we talk about our country, then there are two type of rivers. Number one, Himalayan rivers. Number two, the peninsular rivers. So the Himalayan rivers, as it is clear from the name, that the rivers which are flowing through the Himalayas are known as Himalayan rivers, and the rivers which are flowing in the peninsular India, they are the peninsular rivers. So the place where these rivers flows, according to that these categories are made. So it is very important for us to know about the difference between the Himalayan rivers and the peninsular rivers. Of course, there is huge difference between the Himalayan rivers and the peninsular rivers, because most of the Himalayan rivers, they flow throughout the year. They are having water throughout the year, while the peninsular river, most of the peninsular rivers, they get water only through the rainfall. So that's why during the dry season they remains completely devoid of water. So this is a very important point of difference between the two kind of rivers. Next, about the course of the river. The course of the river means from where a particular river is flowing and where it is draining finally. So the course of the Himalayan rivers is definitely longer, while the peninsular rivers, they are having shorter and shallower course. Shallower means these are shallow, means they are flowing through a narrow channel. So this is also a very important point. So the next point of difference is, as we have discussed, that Himalayan rivers, they depended on the glaciers. So they all descend from the different glaciers which remain covered with the snow. Means more or less it is the snow which is melting and the rivers are coming out of them, while the peninsular rivers, they do not depend upon the rainfall. We talk about the Himalayan rivers, they form deltas, big deltas they form, but the peninsular rivers, they form estuaries or small deltas. So at the same time, it is equally important to understand the difference between the delta and the estuary. The delta, when a river is divided into two parts, then the area which is there between the two parts, if you consider these two are the streams of a river, then the area which is coming in between these two fingers, it is known as delta. But if we talk about the estuaries, when a river is just about to draining into the sea, into a big water body, then it divides into the numerous channels before the drainage. So these channels are known as estuaries. So the Himalayan rivers, they form big deltas, while the most of the peninsular rivers, they form estuaries, sometimes small deltas as well. Now another point of difference we can to make it easy, we can understand that the example of Himalayan rivers and the peninsular rivers, you can see that the Himalayan rivers includes the rivers such as the Ganga, the Brahmaputra, the Indus, the Gandak, Kosi, etc. While if we talk about the peninsular rivers, there is Narmada, Tapi, Godavari, Krishna, Kaveri, etc. These are the peninsular rivers. Now let us move ahead. Let us talk about the characteristics first about the Himalayan rivers, because as I told you that Himalayan rivers, they flow throughout the year, so it is so these are comparatively more important than the peninsular rivers. But where the Himalayan rivers are not there, so there the peninsular rivers, they are also the lifeline undoubtedly. So first of all, let us know about the river systems. Why I use the word river system? Because a river along with its tributaries and distributaries, together it is called as a river system, because it is a system wherein different tributaries are there, different distributaries are there, different tributaries are joining and making a river a bigger one. And then during the flow of a river, it divides into a number of distributaries as well. So first of all, let us talk about the Indus River system, the major characteristics of the Indus River system. So it rises in the Tibet, means in outside India. It rises somewhere near the lake Mansarovar. This name you would have heard because it is a place of pilgrimage as well. So river Indus originate from the lake Mansarovar, and then it flows in the west direction. In the west direction it flows and enters into the India in the Ladakh. Now it has become a state, or better to say union territory of Ladakh. So in Ladakh it enters, and from there in Ladakh, various tributaries of this river such as the Zaskar, the Nubra, the Shok, so these rivers, they join this mighty and big rivers in Kashmir region only, and then it flows through the Baltistan region and Gilgit, and finally emerges from the mountains at the Attock. And then the different rivers from Punjab, like the Satluj, the Beas, Ravi, Chenab and Jhelum, because Punjab is a combination of 5 rivers. If we talk about the etymological meaning of Punjab, then it means Panj means 5 and Ab means water. So Punjab, so the means the combination of 5 rivers. If we talk about Punjab, then the Satluj, Beas, Ravi, Chenab and Jhelum, these are the tributaries which joins the river Indus, and they all join the river Indus at Mithankot, which is in present day Pakistan. And after this point, Mithankot, it flows towards the southern direction, and through Karachi it goes into the Arabian Sea. If we talk about the Indus River, the slope is not very steep, it is gentle slope, and a total length of 2900 kilometers from the beginning point. And undoubtedly it is one of the longest river of the world. However, India, as per a treaty, as you can see also, it is important to tell you here that the Indus Water Treaty treaty means samjhauta. So as per this Indus Water Treaty, India can use only 20% of the water. This treaty, this samjhauta, was done in 1960, and the water from this river, this 20% of the water is used for the purpose of irrigation in Punjab, Haryana, and other southern and western part of Rajasthan. Now let us know about the characteristics of Ganga river system. The headwaters of the Ganga, they are called as Bhagirathi, and river Ganga is it descends from the Gangotri glacier, and it is joined by some other tributaries. First of all, by Alaknanda at Devprayag. The place is in Uttarakhand. So there it is known as Bhagirathi, and from there, when Bhagirathi is joined by Alaknanda, then it is known as Ganga. And at Haridwar, Ganga emerges. Haridwar is the place where Ganga emerges from the mountains to the plains. Mountains से, पहाड़ों से प्लेन में जिस जगह पे आती है, उस जगह का नाम है हरिद्वार. आप सभी ने उसके बारे में सुना होगा. You all would have heard about it. And many tributaries from the Himalayan region, they join the river Ganga in the course of it, such as the Yamuna, Ghagra, Gandak, Kosi, Saraswati, etc. And as it itself is a big river, and when the different tributaries join, it becomes one of the longest river of our country. And then it comes from Haridwar, it goes to different places in Uttar Pradesh, and then it enters into Bihar. From Bihar it goes to West Bengal, and from West Bengal it goes into Bangladesh, and in Bangladesh it meets river Brahmaputra, and there it is known as Meghna, and finally drains into the Bay of Bengal. So if we talk about the length of river Ganga, it is 2500 kilometers. So these are the characteristics of the Ganga river system. Now let us know about the Brahmaputra river system, the third important Himalayan river. So if we talk about the Brahmaputra, it also rises in Tibet. So it is in the from the east of Mansarovar Lake. Mansarovar Lake, I hope you can remember, is the place from where river Indus also originates. So the origin point of these two rivers are almost same. So, then from the near Mansarovar, from there it flows parallel to the Himalayas. It flows and finally enters into the India from the easternmost state of our country, that is the Arunachal Pradesh. The place from where it enters is known as Namcha Barwa. From there it takes a U-turn and then enters into India in the state of Arunachal Pradesh. And in the state of Arunachal Pradesh, it flows through various gorge. Gorge means small, narrow valleys, not small but narrow valleys. It carries huge amount of silt which flows along with it. जितनी सारी चीज़ें नदियाँ अपने साथ बहा करके लेके आती हैं, उनको silt बोलते हैं. So it contains silt, lot of silt in fact, and then from there it flows towards Assam, and then from going through some other northeastern states, it goes to the West Bengal, and finally it comes to Bangladesh. And in Bangladesh it joins the river Ganga, and then it is known as Meghna, and from Bangladesh it flows into the west in the Bay of Bengal. So these rivers cause depositional activity in the northeastern states, and also causes huge damage to life and property every year during the rainy season. So it is slightly longer than Indus, and most of the course of this river is outside India. It is outside, as I told you, that it flows parallel to the Himalayas. So most of the course of this river flows outside India. However, in India it is known as Dihang, which when it enters in the state of Arunachal Pradesh, and here the tributaries Dibang it joins, and as well as the river Lohit it also joins. So then it becomes a river Brahmaputra. So however, river Tibet, as you can see, it is also written here, it is known as Sangpo in Tibet and Jamuna in Bangladesh. So now this was all about the Himalayan rivers. Now let us talk about a few peninsular rivers. The first one is the Narmada. So, if we talk about the characteristics of peninsular rivers, then what is important to know about the origin and the states through which these peninsular river flows. So first of all, we will talk about the river Narmada, its basin. So the origin point of river Narmada, you can see, is the Amarkantak hills in Madhya Pradesh, and the states in which it flows is Maharashtra. Maharashtra is the state through which river Tapi flows. However, river Narmada is bigger than river Tapi, but it flows only through two states, that is the river that is the Madhya Pradesh Amarkantak hills. Then from Amarkantak hills it goes to Gujarat directly, and from Gujarat to the Arabian Sea. If we talk about the river Tapi, as I told you, it flows through three states. One is Madhya Pradesh. From Madhya Pradesh it enters into the state of Maharashtra, and from Maharashtra it enters into Gujarat, and finally it drains into the Arabian Sea. And the origin point of river Tapi is the are Satpura ranges of Madhya Pradesh. If we talk about the Godavari basin, first of all let me tell you that river Godavari is known as Dakshina Ganga because it is the biggest peninsular river. So the origin point of river Godavari is the slopes of Western Ghats, and in the Nasik district of Maharashtra, जो कि संतरों के लिए मशहूर है. And the state covered by Godavari river are Maharashtra, first of all, of course, as it originates from Nasik. So Maharashtra, then to Madhya Pradesh, then Odisha, Andhra Pradesh, and finally it drains into Bay of Bengal. Now let us talk about the fourth peninsular river, fourth important peninsular river. It is the river Mahanadi. You might have heard that one of the biggest dam of our country, Hirakud Dam, it is formed on the basin of on the bank of this river only, Mahanadi. So the origin point is definitely the highlands of Chhattisgarh, and it covers most of the part of Maharashtra, Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, and finally Odisha. From Odisha it goes into Bay of Bengal. Then we talk about the river Krishna. So the origin point of river Krishna is a spring, a beautiful spring, एक झरना जो कि महाबलेश्वर के पास में है. And the states covered by river Krishna are Maharashtra, Karnataka, and Andhra Pradesh. Now the sixth river is river Kaveri. So the origin point of river Kaveri is the Brahmagiri ranges of Western Ghats, and the state which it covers are Karnataka, Kerala, and Tamil Nadu. So these are some of the important peninsular rivers. So more or less rivers, all the important rivers of India are covered, whether it is the Himalayan river or the peninsular rivers. So at the same time, not only the rivers, but there are some lakes also which are of utmost importance. You might have heard about the Dal Lake in Kashmir, जिसमें बोटिंग करने के लिए सब लोग जाते हैं. And you might have heard about the Vembanad Lake in Kerala, which is one of the biggest lakes of our country. But here we are not much concerned about the lakes, but there are two important things which are very important to notice about. That is the largest freshwater lake and the largest saltwater lake. First of all, let me tell you that the lakes are different than the pond and the canal. Canal are mostly man-made, while the pond are the areas which are in which still water is there, जिसमें पानी बहता नहीं है. But lakes are simply when the meander from a river, and the meander is about the meanders and the oxbow lakes. Let me tell you that when a river descends from the mountain, when it is coming from an uplifted area, then it flows into the way a snake moves. So that is known as the meandering of a river. And due to the meandering of a river, sometimes the channels, the sides from where this river flows, they are cut down from the mainstream, and then the lakes are formed. Sometimes they again, these rivers they join finally into that main river stream. So these are lakes. So if we talk about the largest freshwater lake in our country, that is the Vular Lake in the state of Jammu and Kashmir. And then another important thing is the largest saltwater lake. It is Sambar Lake in Rajasthan. It is the largest saltwater lake. So these are the important things which I think you should know about. And then finally we'll talk about the role of the rivers in the economy. As you all know that rivers are of utmost importance. In the beginning of the chapter we have studied about this, that how lakes are important for us. So once again let me remind you about that how they are important for the economy of our country. So rivers are very important in generation of hydroelectricity. They also make our surrounding moderate by providing water, by causing rainfall. Also they are also having a role to play in causing the rainfall, and they also maintain our biodiversity. And the beauty of our biodiversity largely depends upon the water from the rivers. Apart that rivers also are used for recreation as well as for tourism purpose. Rivers are also considered as holy in religion, and religion wise they are also considered as holy river. And if we talk about another important use is in irrigation. For irrigation purpose, it is also the rivers are also useful for the purpose of irrigation as well as navigation purpose, for the inland navigation. Navigation मतलब movement of people, movement of goods, etc. And the most important thing in which rivers are important is agriculture. For the agriculture, for the irrigation, rivers are major source of irrigation. So in this way we can say that our economy depends largely on rivers. So I hope you all would have understood so far about the role of rivers in the economy. So different headings themselves are important questions. All the important questions of this chapter can be covered in different headings. You are supposed to understand, you are supposed to learn about the different Himalayan rivers characteristics, as well as the difference between the peninsular and the Himalayan rivers. You are also it is also very important to know about that the what role does a river play in economy. Apart that, some short notes you also need to learn, that is what do we mean by these meander, oxbow lakes, as well as water divide and drainage basin. These are some of the important thing. I told you about Punjab also. So like Punjab, at last let me tell you one thing is Doab. Do means two, Ab means water. As I told you, like Panj means 5 and Ab means water. मतलब 5 नदियों के संगम को पंजाब बोला गया, वैसे ही 2 नदियों के संगम को दोआब बोला जाता है. So Doab is also important short note which you must know. So this was all about the highlights of this chapter. The main points of this chapter are more or less are covered in this video. So thank you so much. Very soon I'll come up with some other video, another topic. Study well and stay at home. Be safe. Thank you so much, students.